All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Seeds of Music. I'm your host, Kyle Williams, and this is the only awesome web show where musicians and entrepreneurs not only get promotion, but also show you how to take your music and career to the next level. Even if you're not a musician or entrepreneur, in these interviews, we've got some philosophical gold nuggets that you can apply in any situation, any vocation, to reach your goals and do what you love every day. In this episode, we're going to be talking about something a little bit different, switching it up a little bit. We have Jason Brain, the proprietor of Soapbox Sessions, on with us in this episode. And what Soapbox is, it's probably the best open mic that I have ever seen, heard, or performed at. You can find it here in Los Angeles in the San Fernando Valley once a week, every Thursday. And it's something that you definitely want to check out if you're in the area. There's a lot of reasons to go to this open mic, and we're going to go over all of them in today's episode of Seeds of Music. And remember, if you want to get in on more of these interviews, make sure that you sign up for a free email newsletter. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Seeds of Music. This is a really awesome episode we have coming up. We have here Jason Brain, poet and founder of Soapbox here in San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles, and also proprietor of Soapbox Nation. Welcome, Jason.
Hey, thanks for having me, Kyle. Thank you.
Excellent. I know it's been a difficult point getting here. We've had a lot of mishaps along the way, technically, but it's good to be here now. So let's just jump right into it. So let's talk about open mics. There's a lot of open mics out there. What exactly makes Soapbox different?
Well, it's a good question. You'll have to ask the people. Really, I think what makes Soapbox Sessions unique is that we're all about the community, the creative community. We're really all about connecting those artists within our own neighborhoods and bringing them all together and talking to them, not just, feeling out their poetry, their music, their comedy, listening to it. It's all about then the discussion we have after and getting to know one another. It's all about, before and after Soapbox Sessions, when we have that time to now talk to people and really make it a community of artists and not just a show about the arts. So that's what I think. That's what we strive for. We're all about connecting people and encouraging their creativity. And I think that's what I see that makes it unique.
So just that community aspect where it's not just people kind of disembodied, going up on stage doing their thing and leaving and not talking with anybody, not learning anyone's name, especially it just seems like there's more of a brand around it, more of a face, like your face. And
we're trying.
Wonderful.
We're trying.
We're trying. We're doing what? You're doing a good job at it, definitely.
Thank you.
So, what exactly is the history of Soapbox? I mean, why did you start it?
I started it, I was a young poet myself, back in college, going to open mics, finding out that open mics even existed. I just was starting to write and wanted to share it, and then found out that open mics are a thing that exist out there. They're a great resource. And so I started performing, getting on stage. I started at the Cobalt Cafe, hosted by Rick Lupert. It's nearing 20 years of open micdom. So that's in Canoga Park. I was actually there last night performing and actually presenting a poet there. So that was a pleasure. I'm a part of the Valley Contemporary Poets also. So we present a poet every week there. And I can honestly say if it wasn't for the Cobalt Cafe, which is one of the only Valley resources for poets, I mean, more have grown since I first started going to the Cobalt. But really, without the Cobalt Cafe, Soapbox Sessions would be nothing. So,
okay.
Yeah, so I first started going there, checking it out, performing, getting to know other poets, and I was like, I've always been the kind of guy where I see like an open field where, a building's been demolished and go, why is there not a playground there? Something like that. So I was working at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, still do, but working there where our location in Encino has a large patio. And I always thought, after finding out about open mics, that would be a great place to do an open mic. There's tons of room. It's outdoors, So I presented the idea to my manager late winter. And, he was a musician himself, thought it was pretty cool. We kind of tabled it. And then he came back to me around April saying, "Hey, remember that open mic idea? Let's do that." So his name is Matthew Byer. He really helped
Okay.
me. I knew nothing about equipment, about sound equipment, nothing. So he really helped pull all those resources together, found donations from other managers in the Coffee Bean, just basically helped us get everything together, mics. And, I put together a stage kind of haphazardly with things I had found in our parking garage there at the Coffee Bean. Our stage was a door. I found boxes, crates. I looked on Craigslist for wooden crates to kind of give it that feel, and found some great apple crates that we still use today. And it just started that summer. It really grew through a small community of friends I had at Cal State Northridge. The theater department really would come through, and they really helped get us through that first summer. And we got a huge head start that summer also. At the end of the summer, the Los Angeles Times came by. One of the guys was doing a main story on open mics, and we actually got featured as one of the few open mics that he wrote about, which was really cool. So we got kind of that head start there. And ever since then, we've just been trying to provide an entertaining show that takes the performance, relatively seriously, that it's a practice, it's a work in progress, and we're trying to get our craft to a place where we can present it to larger masses. So that's really what we're trying to provide there. But yeah, we've been going ever since 2006. So it's crazy to have seen it grow. I will say that.
Yeah, I remember. I remember when you first announced, when I went to Soapbox for the first time, you announced that you had been running it for 6 years. I was like,
What is
wow.
with his life?
What is he? What is he obsessed? Is he passionate? Yes, Could only, hey fellas, guys out there, girls and gals, you have to be passionate about what you do. I mean, here's someone who's been running this open mic, for 6 years. It's not like running a bank. It's not like running an investment firm. There's not like insane amounts of like financial support from it, but it's benefited so many people. It's benefited me. Truly, I think that's what's made it stand out. And what I'm curious to ask is, like myself as a musician, I mean, I have my own opinion on this, but I wanted to ask you, what can you tell for our audience, like the specific benefits that musicians will get from going to Soapbox instead of some other open mic?
I think the difference is I don't go to too many musical open mics, but I have been to a few. I think the difference is you're going to find people listen. They're going to catch on to your songs. They're not thinking about the song they need to go up and play next. They take a moment and they listen, they enjoy it. They're going to bebop in their chair a bit.
Yeah.
We have poets and comedians who will appreciate your work because they're like, this is brand new. This is a craft that they're not honing.
Yeah.
They don't hear every intricacy that maybe you hear and other musicians will hear.
Yeah.
They're going to just appreciate it as a craft on its own.
Yeah.
So you're really going to get a great audience who oftentimes, will come up to you and want to talk about your work and either, give you some criticism, some constructive criticism, which a lot of musicians can provide also there. You're going to get some of that. But then you're going to get people who are like, I can't get your song out of my head now, because they're now a fan. They came as a poet, they came to perform, but now they're a fan of yours and want to hear more. So I think that's the difference. You're going to find that conversation is the big part of Soapbox.
Yeah, I can say for myself, man, I definitely agree with that. Plus, you've got like an environment where there's no other distraction really from the music. There's no, it's not at a bar, so people aren't like drunk and being obnoxious.
Yeah.
Another great thing that Jason does, guys, is he is very like orderly with I mean, it's not like too strict on the rules, but like if you want to go up and have your time, like he'll keep things moving. He has a set of rules. So like how's that benefited you in the Soapbox in general, and how does that benefit the people who come to Soapbox by having having an open atmosphere, but it's also serious. Like you have a certain amount of time to go up, let's get it moving, and so on.
Yeah, I think it's important. You know, we also like to keep it entertaining.
Hmm.
So we want to make sure if you were someone who was just passing by and stopped in, that it's a show that you go, it's not some kid thrown together and, you know, people are screaming all over the place, don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. I think I want to grow. I want us not to stay as an open mic. You know, I want the open mic is everything in one way. Like we want to provide a service to artists, but
Okay.
in another way, with you know our aspirations, we want to grow beyond an open mic. So at some point, we'd love to take it to the next level and you know have a larger program. So we constantly keep growth in our mind. You know, the better we put together an open mic, the better you know people enjoy their time themselves. You know, people enjoy the feeling of even just performing there. Some people have you know told me like I thought you were like a national entity, and that's what we want people to think. but and that's where we want to get.
But you
So
play, yeah, you play like you got a huge audience,
yeah.
which is
You
good.
know, I've heard from people, you know, dress for the job you want, not the job you've got. So we want you to not think you're at an open mic. We want you to think you're featured. Every single performer, we want you to think like you're at a feature event. Unfortunately, you've only got 2 songs or 7 minutes, but we want you to feel like you're at a place where you were, you know, excited for the next day that you were there.
And yeah, sorry if I cough a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit under weather, guys. But yeah, like that that sense of being featured and that kind of mindset that you dress for the job you want, not the one you have. I feel like that rubs off on the performers. You know, it does with me. You know, because when I go there, I get up there, it makes me feel more confident, it makes me feel like more respected, and I'm able to feel better about the music that I'm making, and that helps me keep pushing forward. So, I'm curious, what's been your like main mindset when going about building soapboxes? There,
Oh
like, do you
man.
have like a motto that you tell yourself at night before you go to bed that you're like,
You know, if anything, my motto would be and still so far to go. I just remind myself that, you know, no matter where we're at now, there's still a long way to go. So we have huge goals. I've had goals that I've been talking about for years, and to some degree, my wife's like, do them. And so, like, I've talked about a lot of ideas, and unfortunately, my ideas, you know, they've grown, they've expanded. Some I've had to let go, um, and so it's, I don't know, we've just still a long way to go. You know, we're just an open mic, we're just a radio show. We've got a long way to go until I'm happy and content. I think I'll never be content. So ultimately, I want to touch the lives of everybody. You know, we have some big goals. So, you know, we'd love to be seeing everybody on the road when we get our big old bus going and
oh,
document
that's
this
gonna
whole
be awesome.
road trip. So that's
I just had something pop in my head myself that you just added another goal for me right there. A goal in tandem, soapbox and seeds of music. So, yeah, feel really good about that. So, how do you jug? I mean, you got to be insanely busy. Okay, and I remember I asked you this before, you know, but just for everyone watching, uh, how do you juggle work, life, and soapbox? I know you're married now, and you got a kid, a bun in the oven. That's like yeah. So what are some helpful habits that you've developed?
Well, embrace chaos. Embrace chaos is my first tip.
That sounds like a metal band.
So maybe.
Embrace
But
chaos.
like know what you want. Know what you want to do. I'm constantly. I mean, I'm still evolving. I've only just in the last year started using a planner. Even though every year in school they would give us one at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I'm only starting now to get that done. So just embrace chaos, and when you know what you want, everything else will fall in place. Just keep focused. It's really about keeping focused, and if grow as many arms as you can, and with the juggling aspect, just grow many arms, and know that Everything's negotiable. Everything's negotiable, even time.
So
And
yeah. You can you in your bed, they can have like negotiation on how much it's going to be used.
and and you're gonna have to also embrace the fact that you're not gonna get much sleep if you want to be successful. You're gonna have to forget that you require sleep, at least the levels that they recommend.
Oh,
So
the 8 hours a night.
yeah, but
What? How much? I'm curious. How much on average sleep do you think you get?
I would say, I go for 6 hours during the weekdays, and then I don't set my alarm on the weekend, and usually I'm up by 9 on the weekend. But I aim for 6 during the week, and actually find that I'm best at 5.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I'm also not a napper. I never get in naps. So
Oh.
that's actually a practice I want to start adding, and at least closing my eyes for 20 minutes. But I have I've always found that I feel like I have too much energy. So like unless I'm about to fall asleep, I'm not falling asleep all day. Like I got to go and keep moving. So
Okay.
I'm better at in motion than at rest. Much better. Physically, mentally, emotionally. I'm just better in motion.
So it's like the moment, like you have this like inner momentum. Like the more you work, it's like
Yeah.
the more ideas you have. Like when you go to sleep, you're excited, for the next day, like what you can accomplish. I feel the same way. I'm still trying to lock things down. I mean, I actually don't know how much I sleep, but I had been keeping a like 11 to 6 or 7 in general, or 12 to 6 or 7. I don't know if it's if I should go to 2 in the morning and then get up late. I like being an early riser. I like getting up early.
Me too.
I think personally, I think that's like that's the key element of all high performers. I mean, what do you think about that, about early rising?
I constantly wish I kept waking up earlier and earlier. If I could wake up at 6 a.m. every day, that would be like primo.
Until you wake up yesterday, because it's so early.
Yeah,
Let's go
yes,
wake up back in
exactly.
time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I believe in early rising. I think there's something about waking up with the sunrise and things like that that just, enjoying a morning. I think culture's almost got us thinking that like mornings are evil, that you need coffee, that you need like to not be up and doing things in the morning. Like you must get to work. You wake up as late as possible to get to work, which you're
Yeah.
not looking forward to.
No.
And like you need coffee and
You
you
skip
need
breakfast
breakfast.
because yeah.
And yet it's the most important. So
It
you're
is.
conflicted there. But you ain't got time for it. But
Or you get like like a freaking donut. Like what's the most dumbest thing to eat in the morning is like you don't eat anything, so you eat coffee and then you eat this like sugary like carb thing. Like that's crazy to me. Like that's like the least nutritious thing for the most important meal.
sounds so good though.
Yeah. Sorry, you eat a donut in the morning. Sorry about that.
No, it's funny. I don't eat breakfast usually. I'm
Really?
not a breakfast person. I'm a cup of coffee in the morning. I try and get in a glass of water and then a cup of coffee. But usually I'm too caffeinated throughout the
Man.
entire day. So I run on caffeine. And yeah.
I'll fall apart like a Jenga game of Jenga if I don't have like the breakfast. So I guess maybe it's individualized, but I guess we can both agree that get more waking time in, do whatever you can, maybe eat healthier, drink coffee if you can, but there's something about like getting up early and just hitting it and running.
Yeah.
Definitely. So do you have plans to make Soapbox part of something bigger? Soapbox Nation. What is that exactly?
It is confidential.
Okay, it is confidential. All right.
No,
Oh, wait, are you joshing me? Or?
I am joshing it. I'm
Oh.
joshing. I mean, basically, our vision is that
I
we
totally.
want
I was like.
it's. Yep. So it is. No, it's. It's this thing where it's a larger entity that is yet to find its goal because the goal is constantly evolving. But ultimately, it's a part of a larger network of entities I hope to put together that basically allows and provides artists every service they could possibly need, from productions to recordings to shows to just the whole social aspect of the creativity and being an artist. connecting artists, bringing artists in contact with audiences. So really, it's something that's constantly evolving. And now that we have our team together, the Danger Team, we're really finding focus and getting things going as more is being able to be taken on, really, and it's less on me, though I'm trying to get everything going, but I have others who have hands ready to give, basically, to the cause.
Is that what we're talking? No,
At
you got
minimum.
Yeah. No, there's definitely people who are, very passionate too about like what you're doing and definitely willing to, do their part. So for anyone else, to do their part, how can someone get involved with Soapbox? Like, how can someone contribute? Like, what should they do? Where should they go?
Shoot us an email. We have an email where on our website, spreadthesoap.com.
The link will be below.
Yeah. In the upper right-hand corner, I believe, is an area where you can join our email list. And from there, you can let us know that you want to just join the email list, but also let us know what you want to give the world. That's basically my first question for anyone. How do you want to better the world? Because right now we have our open mic and we're looking to expand that. We have our radio show, we have our radio network on Blog Talk Radio that we want to expand and go eventually from the one show we have, Radio Soapbox, to 7 days a week of programs, a program a day. So we want to expand. We're currently looking to ramp up our media efforts. So really we're looking for cinematographers, directors, editors, audio people, graphic designers, and web designers, social media people. We're looking to just basically build up our forces so that we have a good hand to bring to the world something. But no, we're looking for anyone and everybody. We like to make this illusion that we're a pirate ship, and that we're looking for as many hands on deck as possible. So we hope to sail the seas. Like I said, we want to eventually, take a bus across the country, hit every state, and bring the artists out of their caves, their bedrooms, their garages, their minds, and really bring them out and find that when you connect with other artists, only good things can happen. Mm-hmm. That you will find yourself thinking other things, making friends, growing on just a whole nother level as an artist. And so that's really our goal ultimately. But Soapbox Nation is expanding, and I think following us on Facebook and Twitter is another great place where we can communicate.
Yeah, excellent.
And you can meet other performers and communicate with Soapbox, because we're ramping up our efforts to really let people know what we need. That's kind of where we're at. We're pre-gaming. We're kind of amping our coaches up so that they can let the players know the game plan. Yeah. And because it is very close to defining what we hope to accomplish in the near future as well as the long term. Ultimately, we want to be a media marketing management company. Okay. That's really the goal, and that'll show up in another form almost. But Soapbox is the people portion of this of this whole thing.
Excellent.
So
yeah. So guys, like if you're listening in, make sure that you head to the Soapbox website and the link below and sign up for the email newsletter, because it looks like there's going to be some marketing packages and there's going to be a marketing element to Soapbox in the future where there's going to be promotion. It's going to be promotion in there. So make sure you stay tuned for that, because you're going to have people on your side that really care about the art, that really care about the music, and that will just get you in the right place with whatever you need, whether it's video or photos or help you out with how to market yourself, which is, I think that's like a really great thing and a huge advantage for musicians to go to Soapbox instead of any other open mic in the San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles.
Thank you.
So let's do a little Jason time here. Jason specifically.
Oh man.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Like,
Do it.
can you give us a little poetry sample? Like maybe something, maybe short, 2-3 minutes. Got
2 to 3
anything?
minutes. Oh man, giving me like a feature set right now. 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah. Cause I wanna.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to showcase your poeting talents. Is that a word?
Po-
Poeting,
I like to
poeting.
make up words. I would
Okay.
have called it poeticizing, just so you know. That but I'm crazy.
Okay.
I'm a poet. So, yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
Here's a poem. Here's kind of one of my, kind of like my staple. This one, it goes back. So, and it's very much soapbox. It's very much just life. And this is called Spread the Love. Everyone needs to know this, that somebody loves them, that someone, somewhere out there loves them, and the more if this happens to be the case, the better, because everyone needs some love. And whether it's a little bit or a lot of it, whatever it is, someone needs some, so don't hold back, because everyone here is with you. Whatever it is you're going through, someone is here with you. So whether conflicted, addicted, depicted, no worries, because everyone here is afflicted. But too oftentimes, no one notices, nor does anyone do a thing, and in return, the afflicted burn without concern, because the flame never worries about the wick. It's the wax that evaporates to keep that fire alive. So tell me, what's going on inside each of us, keeping us from trying when we know the world, just like ourselves, every day is dying? It's time. The time is now, and the now is now ticking away, so let's conspire. Let's conspire right here together and inspire ourselves a love revolution. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Jason, goddamn motherfucking brain. That is so cliche. But you know what? If everyone knew to do this, to put their love into action so beautiful it's true, this would not sound nor feel cliche. No, this is the beginning of our love revolution, because it's time to do anything. So go, get lost longer in eye contact. Pause and stop to listen when someone finishes speaking. Lend a helping hand. Mend a broken heart. Defend all of the forgotten, and then cut away all your losses, because there's no need for even nothing when all you've got is just a little bit of loving. So if you've got some to give, let it out. It will outlive. You're always going to find spare change no matter where it is you go. So why not leave a little bit behind you? Because who knows? It may just be waiting there for you when the time is apropos. Now is the only time to let every body, mind, soul out there know that someone in this crazy, mixed up, beautiful fucking world loves them. And not just dutifully, but truthfully. Because when you do, I promise they will smile, and you will too, and it will be beautiful. Beautiful. Just please keep being beautiful.
There you go. Awesome, man. So like that is the staple. I've heard that many times and still is just as sweet, man. Just as sweet.
Thank you. Thank
Uh,
you.
Speaking of sweet, you have an event called Sweet Noise. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sweet Noise, we actually had one this past week. It was our first one of the year. It's Soapbox Nation's now concert event. If you found us before we did last year, you would have said, that's a talent showcase. But now we are a concert event. And so
Okay.
this past week, we actually had Politely Naked, RHI, and Deep Fried Dynamite rocking the main stage, as well as Roger Shagnon and Chris Rubio on the side stage. So it's a new evolution. We had a full house, maximum capacity. It was high energy all night. The show was ridiculous. I've been riding high on it since then, and that was a few days ago. So our next one is coming up, I believe, June 29th. It's here in Sherman Oaks in Los Angeles. and it's a great time. And I don't know whether that's just the open bar we had or the everything else, but all in all, you gotta join us. It's too good of a time, and we had a blast this past week.
What's the best way to get in on that?
We have a submission area for Spread the Soap for our website, spreadthesoap.com. And so we're actually constantly seeking artists. Our email list is broken up into two. It's kind of the general email list, and then we also have a performers-only email list.
Okay.
So as opportunities arise, we like to let our black book know. So we reach out to the performers and we say, hey, are you available? Are you interested? Let us know.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you submitting is going to make it to the show, but let us know that you're up for it, you know. So we're constantly looking to reach out to artists and give them opportunities, such as Sweet Noise. Yeah.
I've performed at Sweet Noise, and it was an awesome time. They had some food, they had cheese and crackers and wine, and it was just a great atmosphere. It's like a small theater, with like a real stage and like a guy doing sound, and it was just awesome. And really, Jason was great on bringing me on to do that. You don't have to have like 1 billion albums like recorded. You just have to be serious, have a passion for it, and you'll get on. So guys, make sure that you check that out. Like if you are a musician, performer, singer, songwriter, or you have a band, head over to spreadthesoap.com and connect with the Sweet Noise event. Get on that email list for performers, and just do it. Don't wait. And before I forget, for your poetry, is there like somewhere we can get some of that, like printed or or is. Online or what?
Oh, good question. Yes, check out Amazon.com. I have my first book of published poetry out. It's called The Mixtape Collection, and it's original poetry by yours truly, and it is on Amazon. You can find it there, and you can find it even easier through my website, which is jasonbrain360.com.
Which is the preferred method?
I say, either way. It's going to take you to the Amazon account anyway.
Okay.
If you just go to my website, there's a link on the homepage, so that may make it easier than searching, but either way, Amazon.com is the way to go.
What's your website?
jasonbrain360.com.
All right.
Check it out.
Excellent. Those words go so well together. I just imagine like a CAT scan like going around your head. Like that should be your intro.
I've Well, take me back to my concussion. It's 4th grade.
You had a concussion?
Yeah. Back when I was younger, I was much more athletic than I was poetic. And so I was playing sports and playing soccer on the blacktop, and took a nice shiner from a trip, and I was going just full force straight down the field, and just my friend came out of nowhere, went for the ball, tripped me, I went flying, landed straight on my head, and
Oh, man.
concussion, broken bones, stitches.
And that's when you thought about the idea for Soapbox, right?
Yes.
You're like,
Hold up in intensive
in 26 years, or 16 years, or however long, I'm going to do this open mic. And that was awesome. And so if you, speaking of like, being a 4-year-old, if you, probably not that far back, but if you could go back in time and do one thing differently, what would it be?
Dangerous.
Boom! That's what this question
is. I would have kissed the girl.
What's up?
I would have kissed the girl.
Alright.
But that's a other can of worms. But, it's something about that, I think, having not, I think that's part of why the poetry came. Part of the whole creativity, I think, something. And, I don't know. Don't throw the scooter in front of your friend on the rollerblades. That was stupid. Learn the brakes on rollerblades. That would be another one. If you're gonna ride the rollerblades, learn how to stop. I got many of them.
Yeah. Wow, wow. Like, usually people get stumped to even say one. It is just like, you're like rolling with it. How about, how about like, as far as like the evolution of Soapbox, or maybe your creative efforts, you know? Is there something you would go differently in how you approached your creative process? We'll take it there so it's like more specific, not like rollerblades and beating kids up.
Wait, what's that?
So we're not talking about beating kids up in fourth grade.
Oh man, I was the kindergarten bully at my school, by the way. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but yeah. I find that I don't know if it's that I found peace in second grade. But yeah, kindergarten, man. But regarding if I would change anything with
The creative process, yeah, that you.
you know, nothing I can think of because all I've ever known is what I've done.
Okay.
And I constantly am revising my own process, but I don't think it's because of anything in particular systemically. I think it's just an evolution that I've come to. That's just part of my practice. That, you know, just like I rearrange my room all the time, I'm kind of rearranging how I do things and finding just more streamlined ways, or ways that are just working better for me. So I just kind of am, again, embracing the chaos of it all, and just like making sure that I make time for it, I think, is the most important part. One is carrying a pen with me at all times, and just be making sure to even give myself 5 minutes with my notebook to write down even 4 lines of poetry or thought. It can save a life.
So maybe for a musician that would be carrying around like a recorder and singing a melody, you know, like just that immediacy of poetry, the immediacy of melody. You know, maybe they go hand in hand. So I could definitely see that being something that's really valuable. So this last question, Jason, it's gonna be this is the fun question. I know that I know that you had fun with the last question I asked about going back in time, because that opened up a can of worms. But you know, what was your favorite album, and where would your life be if some jerk kid came and smashed it to pieces and it never came across your path?
You know what? I'm just gonna throw this out there because you asked. When I moved out at one point of an apartment building, I had to take a public storage space, and I valued my music collection incredibly. Like, I took pride in my CD collection. That most of them I could listen to the whole album and loved every song. Like, I took pride in that. So one day I got a call from Public Storage saying you had some stuff stolen. Your locker was broken into. The 2 things they took were my collection of CDs and my collection of DVDs. The only 2 things. And man, changed my life. Many a tear, many a poem written. But no, one album. That's so tough. My first ever album was Green Day's Dookie. And actually, it probably was my first one. It was actually probably Weird Al's Food album, to tell you the truth. I think.
Dude.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about the other day on the radio show, but yeah, it was the Food album. I got a cassette of that, and I bought that myself at the Warehouse. Remember the Warehouse?
Was that the one where he's like, "'Cause I'm fat"?
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. Ding dong, yo, ding dong.
But yeah, but the first ever real CD or album I took to was Green Day. I felt like just alive. And actually, it's funny because my mom got it for me, and she said, "I thought you'll like this. Trust me. I have a feeling you're just gonna like this." And kind of just gave it to me, and it set me on the right path. I've been a Green Day fan ever since. But I'd say that album's obviously key. I still listen to that album to this day. But okay, the band that really is what it's all about right now is the Hives for me, and Refused. Actually, I'll say that the album,
over there.
the posters are there.
Yeah.
They put on a good show. I almost try and embody. I'm trying to find people I can, I use as models for my performing, and I'll definitely say Howlin' Pell is definitely one of them. He's got that showmanship, jumps, kicks. I'm part squirrel. And so I love climbing and jumping and, like I said, keeping active. I'm better in motion.
But not going into trash cans. Probably
no,
that part.
no. Those days are over. Those days are past. But the album the album, I'll say, this popped into mind. I love Swedish punk music. Refused, The Shape of Punk to Come. Even if you're not a punk fan, you hear everything in there. And it is fast, it is punk, it is metal, it's screaming, but, you know, the album ends with, like, French jazz and, like, this, like, 8-minute song, and that's just, like, incredible ambience that breaks into some craziness in the middle, comes back to ambience. They do it right. The album was so good and so powerful. The band had to break up after. I mean, they had inner conflict, but part of their manifesto they wrote as they broke up was saying that, you know, they created an album that was almost like too big for them, that they almost couldn't give it the justice it deserved. And now they're back together as of Coachella, I think, a year or two ago.
Oh.
And
Coachella has that effect on bands.
Right. And I will say, you know, just the liner notes of the album also are a read. Like, you learn, your mind is opened. The lead singer, Dennis Laxon, is an Oxford graduate, and so he lays it on thick in the liner notes. It is a book. It is tiny print, filled with text. It's incredible. So I think all in all, just top to bottom, that album, I would hurt someone for hurting.
We'll find them.
The Shape of Punk to Come. Check it
find
out.
Those people.
Yep.
Okay. All right, man, Jason. Well, thanks for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Kyle. Seeds of Music. Thank you.
All right, guys, make sure to check out all his links, man. Hop on down there. JasonBrand360.com. You got SpreadTheSoap.com. Get over there, get on the email list, and also sign up for the Seeds of Music email newsletter list so you don't miss any of these interviews. Jason, once again, thank you. So that wraps up this episode of Seeds of Music with Jason Brain and his open mic in San Fernando Valley called Soapbox Sessions. Make sure that you check out his links below on this post page. Check out his poetry. This guy's an awesome poet. If you like it, definitely head over to his Amazon and check out the book that he has. Also, make sure that you sign up for the email newsletter. We have forums all over the site on this page. Also, just go ahead and share this post, like it, like our Facebook page. If you are watching this video on YouTube, like this video, make sure you share it with your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But most importantly, go ahead and head over to seedsofmusic.net and sign up for the email newsletter there. Guys, it's critical that you get on the email newsletter for the website because that is the best way for me to communicate with you and keep you updated with all things that are going on at the website and all the interviews that will be coming out. And last but not least, leave a comment box below on the post. Let me know what you think of this interviews. How could I improve? Who would you like to see interviewed next? And if you are a musician or entrepreneur and you would like to be a guest on this show, please don't be shy. Send me an email using the contact form that you'll find from the homepage, or you can just send an email out to kyle.seedsofmusic@gmail.com. I answer every email because I think that's super important to answer every email. I do my best to do that. It might not be the same day, but rest assured I will answer back. So don't hesitate. Let's start a conversation here. Comments, feedback. I love it all. Until next time, guys.